Hey guys! So I haven't made a video in a hell of a long time, and I'm sorry about that. I've been really busy with school and work. Literally like every week is non-stop until Sunday. So I'm back, and I'm here to do a kind of response video, I guess. It's not really a tag, but I saw Melissa's video, and it was basically this top 10 inspirational books. And the way she did it was she just showed the book, and that's all she did, and that's fine and perfect. But I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about each book and why they've inspired my life so much. And I wanted to film this video a while ago, but I just got really emotional because of some of these books. So if I cry in this video, that's why, because these books have really impacted my life in such powerful ways. So we're gonna start with a book that I don't actually have with me right now. It is somewhere in this room, in the computer room, somewhere. I need to find it or rebuy it. I can't believe I can't find it. But that is With or Without You by Brian Ferry, and I know Melissa is like just screaming at the screen because I can't find it. But I will find it. I know it's in that mess of a bookshelf. I'm sure. But this book has impacted my life in a very strong, powerful way, because without this book, I mean, maybe this is kind of a strong statement, I guess, but without this book, I probably would not have had the strength to come out. And it's not like that's the only reason, but this book really just made me question my sexuality, and I thank it for that. And not only that, it did make me think that being gay or bisexual or whatever, transgender, whatever you are, it's okay, and it's a very serious issue. And there's even more serious issues that people don't know about, especially in this book with the issue of bug chasing, which is horrifying in itself. But this book really just made me just think about my life. And it's a little funny. This is a little funny story. I was reading this in the car on a trip with my mom and my dad. We were, I believe, in Spokane or something. We were traveling, and after I read the make-out scene at the graduation between Evan and Eric, I look out my window, and what do I see? A shirtless guy running down the street. So I kind of saw that part of my life as like some sort of sign. I don't know why, but I got really, this is kind of personal, but I did get a little aroused by that scene, and just seeing that outside my window at that exact moment was like, okay, this is weird, I don't understand, I'm confused now. But yeah, so that's my little story about With or Without You. This is more of a recent decision impacting my life, and that is the, Othello, Shakespeare. I've read this in my Shakespeare class in college right now, and the message behind Shakespeare has just really made me reassess my life, and it just makes you think about life. This story is all about not only, I wouldn't say just racism, but hate in general. I mean, Iago is a metaphor for hate, in my mind at least. That's what I think. That's why I think he has no motive, because hate has no motive, really. You just hate. And it's just really fascinating to me, just this whole story and what happens throughout the story. And it really makes you think about how you treat other people, and how you think about things, and how you're manipulated to think about things. And it's just so fascinating, and that's why I think it really makes me think about my own life, and just making choices on my own, I guess, if that makes sense. So that's how it's sort of impacted my life in that sense. And I love Shakespeare. He has impacted my life since, like, high school. I love Shakespeare. He's fantastic. Now we're going to go back to my roots as a reader and talk about The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. A lot of you probably know by now that this book is what got me into reading, and I'm so glad for that reason, because I would not be a reader today, I would not be a writer today, if it were not for The Outsiders. And this book has just changed my whole life, changed the way I think about reading. I used to think that reading was boring and that it wasn't fun at all. And then this book showed me that stories could be engaging and that reading could be engaging. And I really, really thank S.E. Hinton for showing me that. The next book is Every Day by David Levithan. This book makes me think about love, and it makes me reassess my ideas about love and how love is a state of mind. I don't know if that's the way I want to put it, actually. It's like, it's something you can't control, and it's something that just happens to everyone, or hopefully happens to everyone, and it shouldn't be judged just because of who you love. And that's what this book is all about. It's all about not caring what the person looks like or smells like or acts like, and just really being connected to the soul in that sense. And I love that idea of love. And it's just, it really, really makes you think about love in that it's really important. And I don't know, it really made me think about life and love. And yeah, I'm probably going to say that again eventually in this video, because there's a couple books that made me think about love in that way. How fitting. I'm going to talk about Love is the Higher Law by David Levithan next. The reason this impacted my life so much is I read this during my questioning phase in my sexuality, and this book, really there's only one scene, or there's many scenes that are great in this book, don't get me wrong, but there's one scene in particular that made me just really, really just think and process what it means to be gay, or what it means to be, I don't know, different, I guess. And there's a scene in this book where the boys are trying to give blood to this hospital to help relief after 9/11, but they can't because they are gay, and the doctor in the hospital won't let them, and it just shows, you know, how really ignorant and stupid life used to be, and still sort of is in some ways. And I really, really thank David Levithan for writing that. He wrote this in 2009, I believe. And even then, it was important to discuss, because we still, you know, have the issue of differences today. And it's still something we need to talk about and we need to change for the better. And it's just a really thought-provoking book, and I really, really recommend you read this. It is so, so good. And just David Levithan, he's a genius. Just that name alone knows you're going to read something amazing. Next is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. There's a scene in this book that made me cry, and that is dealing with breast cancer. One of the main characters in this book realizes that his mom has breast cancer, and I read this during a time that was really, that subject was really, really prevalent in my life, and it just made me break down into tears, because I know exactly how that character felt, and how he got through it just like I got through it is incredible and coincidental and lovely. So this book just made me think about bigger issues and about family. And I know it's a romance. It's a cheesy, well, somewhat cheesy, not really, very, very, you know, cute romance read. And then it has that little bit, that little extra thing in there that's just so prevalent in today's life about cancer and getting sick, and, you know, the turmoil that it takes on the family. And, you know, that's what I love about Stephanie Perkins, not just because of, you know, how she can write a cute scene or something, but just how real she is. Even in the other book she wrote, Lola and the Boy Next Door, with the two gay dads. I mean, it's like those little details that are so human and just so true to life that really makes me reassess my own life in general. And that's why I love her, and that's why this book has impacted my life so harshly, and I mean so greatly. Next is kind of a dual sort of thing, because it's like two books in one, I guess, and that is A Thousand Splendid Suns and The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. These two books and their stories have been like my favorite books of all time since high school, and I still, to this day, love these books so much. I'm not sure if I have a favorite book anymore because I've read so many books, and it's so hard to pick a favorite. Like, a legitimate favorite book. It's so hard. But these are definitely on top of the list, or at least up there at the top of the list. And just the ideas that it talks about, and really, it was the first book since, like, The Outsiders that just made me love it completely. And that's The Kite Runner. That's what I'm talking about, basically, is The Kite Runner. It really reinvented my love of reading. It made me think about what books I love to read, and that I love to read again. And I'm so glad for it. Next one is Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. There's a couple of reasons why this book has impacted my life. One, I just gotta mention, this is the book that every time I look at it, I think of one of my best friends in my life, Britt. Every time I see it, or think about it even, I just think of her, and how great friends we are, and how I never want to lose her, and just, she's really one of my best friends in life, and I am so blessed to have her in my life. Aside from that, the story about love, and companionship and family, but mostly love. And it's not just, love of, a significant other. It's mostly about just the idea of love. And how you can love anybody. You can love a teacher, your mother, your boyfriend or girlfriend. You can love your neighbor, or a coworker, or someone that comes into the coffee shop every day. It is the perfect embodiment of love, in my opinion, this book. At least one of the most perfect books that just really hammer in that idea of love. It's one of the best books of all time, and it's so good, and I'm so blessed to have both this in my life and Britt in my life. Okay, so the last book might make me cry, and I'm sorry if I do cry, but that is Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. This is the book that I almost didn't make this video because of how much it changed my life. It talks about the subject of suicide, and how these 3 teens attempt suicide and then are sent to this hospital for troubled teens in order to, change their life and rehabilitate their minds, basically. And honestly, this book saved my life. And it's not as, it's not as, serious as I'm making it out to be. Well, it is serious, but it's not like if I didn't read this book, I wouldn't be alive. But without it, I might not have. I don't know. It's hard to say. But, I've had a lot of trouble in my life and a lot of self-doubt. I've been bullied and kicked, and, my self-esteem has been kicked, and just life has just really hammered me and just beaten me in that sense. And I know exactly how these kids feel. Exactly how they feel. And finishing the book is the most important thing I've done in my life. And I thank Ellen Hopkins every day, because without her I might not be here. And I know that's kind of I guess I couldn't say that exactly. I don't know if that's really what I want to say, but it's one of those speechless things that you just can't really put to words exactly. But this is really the most important book in my life. in the sense of wanting to stay alive. So, that's my video. Those are my, hopefully 10 books. I think that's 10. Yeah. So those are my 10 books that have really changed my life. And honestly, every book I read makes me think about my own life and just makes me enjoy life because I love reading. And I think that's the importance of this video, is just to enjoy life and enjoy what you do. Just love who you love, enjoy yourself, and don't worry about the insecurities. And maybe, I don't know, I may be making this more deep than I have to, but I'd really love to see what your opinions are about books that have changed your life. And it doesn't have to be, you know, if you don't want to be as personal as me, you don't have to be. Even I didn't say some of the things that I wanted to say, but I'm truly grateful for all these books. And not just these books, but for my friends and the people that have impacted my life. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, I guess. I've kind of changed my whole, like, mindset when I'm doing this video, I guess. Because I just thought I was going to do, like, a book video, and now I'm kind of doing a little bit deeper than that. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just the things that I'm saying just make me want to reflect. But let's reflect together. I'd love to hear about, you know, what books have impacted your life. You don't have to tell me why if you don't feel like it. That's totally fine. I'd like to know why, if there are some things that you want to talk about. But just, I love discussing books, and I'd love to discuss some books with you if you'd like. So, you know, leave me a comment. Let me know. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm glad I made it. It made me think about a lot of different things, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm really just so grateful to have some of the best friends I can ever ask for.